Vanakkam, this is Hyder Ali Sayyed from Aaseevagam, united under Tamil Shiva.
Do you want to ask Hyder Ali about Tamil Nadu?
Yeah, let's go for that topic. Yeah, Tamil Nadu, go ahead. I mean, Hyder Ali, go ahead.
As per our tradition, it's a cradle of civilization. Tamil Nadu, Sri Lanka, Kumari Khandam. The DP which you see on my DP is there. It's a map of Kumari Khandam, which is a submerged continent in which the European researchers call as Lemuria. It's a tribal colony, first colony, mother colony. And since that's what I am referring to, chapter 49, verse 13, because everything is connected with Quran. The history from Adam to Noah and Noah to Ibrahim, all history belongs to the Pandyans, the colony or the first colony. And after Ibrahim, only the history of these people starts. Family of Ibrahim, his sons, Isaac and Ismail, the history starts. So, and when we look into the history of Israel, the 12 brothers, one brother is they want to kill one of their brothers. So this is actually the starting point of the children of Israel history. So this is an overall picture which we have, and Quran is basically a reminder for people of the book. When Quran says people of the book, it refers to the people, the Allah whom taught by pen. Chapter 96, 1 to 5. All the information on all subject was taught by pen to third son of Adam, that is Set. As per our Tamil tradition, Shiva is the first the first Siddha whom God gave all the information. And similar story you will find in Kemites, and there also you will find Set, S-E-T-S, Set, and biblical term is also Set, which means in Hebrew means appointed. So all the whatever the thing is referring to from Quran, Bible, it refers to Tamil Nadu, Sri Lanka, Kumari Khandam. That's a cradle of civilization. And now let's start with what the Quran says in chapter 3, verse 33. Adam, Noah, family of Imran, and family of Ibrahim. Yeah.
What about this Hindu narrative of the story of Aryans?
Where is he? He's gone.
The Hindu narrative of the Aryans.
I'm coming to that, because when you break the timeline, you will not understand who are the Aryans, because since we have only Adam and Eve, single common ancestry. So when you start understand the history of Adam, what has happened during the timeline of Adam, then we'll go to the Noah period, then we'll go to family of Ibrahim, which I think everybody knows about the history of family of Ibrahim, but nobody knows about the history of Adam and Noah. So the Quran is basically a time travel book, and people who are conscious of Allah will understand, and Allah guides whom He will. So Quran is not dependent on any hadith. It's just conscious of Allah, and Allah guides whom He will. So during the timeline of Adam, whatever the thing happened during his main point, that all is mentioned. The sign is given in Quran, and if you have some other references which we have to take, and plus there is something which called guidance from God also. That only comes true when you are conscious to God. So as for Tamil tradition, heavenly language is also Tamil. Like when we look into the Quran, the conversation between angel and God, the conversation between the angel, the demon and God, and Lucifer and God, and then Adam and God, all this conversation was in oral language. And in Quran also, Adam was taught all the words, means orally he was taught some language. And as per our Tamil tradition, Tamil is the heavenly language. The written form of the first Tamil language was given to first Siddha, that is Shiva, the third son of Adam. And Quran chapter 96, 1 to 5, verse 1 to 5, it's clearly saying that taught by pen, which all the information was given to the first Siddha. Now coming to chapter 49, verse 13, Adam and Eve. From there we have many children of Adam, and each children were given different rank or branches of admin professions, and every, like how mother colony with the one colony and colony is there, when all the ranks of different branches of profession, their population increase, all the ranks makes another colony, so that becomes tribe. So this is how we are all interconnected, all the tribes are interconnected, mother colony, then the tribe. In Indian language it's called gotram. So everyone is interconnected. So this was the first mother colony over here. And like we know that chapter 5 verse 27 gives a sign about the first murder. So Cain and Abel and Seth. So Cain committed the first murder. He became the father of the Aryan race, the white race, and he was cursed and banished from the cradle of civilization. He was the first antichrist. And that's why chapter 1 of Quran chapter says that the guide us to the straight path, the path whom you have blessed, and the blessed one is the third son of Adam, that is Set as per the Bible, and as per the Tamil tradition it's Shiva. And the people under warrant are the people from the bloodline of first Cain, the first antichrist. They were hunter gatherer cannibal society, the European society. So, and the people who went astray are those people who left the straight path of first Siddha, and adopted the principle of secularism, or which are not to their tradition way of life. So this is what the Surah chapter 1 is talking about regarding the religion. What all the prophet followed the same way of life. That is chapter 42 verse 13. You can note it down and you can later read it. It's clearly saying that all prophet, including Prophet Muhammad, followed the same way of life which Prophet Noah has followed. And since Noah is from the bloodline of Set, that is Shiva, so everyone followed the way of life of first Siddha, that is Shiva. Okay. And regarding the administration part, who holds the administration rank, chapter 2 verse 30, it's talking about administration. Chapter 2 verse 30 is talking about administration successful on earth. So the rank among the rank is administration rank also, and that rank, the vicegerent rank, was given to third son of Adam, that is Set. And as per the Tamil tradition, again the first Pandyan, and the symbol of Pandyan is the twin fish. Twin fish you will find in almost everywhere. In Chinese civilization, in Egypt also you will find twin fish, and bull. Bull also you will find in Indus Valley, you will find it everywhere over there. And this is actually the first mother colony. Then we have a different colony, and among like chapter 6 1.6, it's clearly saying that civilization, the previous civilization before the flood, was far more advanced than this current generation. So before, and when you look into the history, like what these people were doing, I mean the first generation, we saw that all the pyramids, there are lots of pyramids sunken in the sea in Cuba, in Japan. So that means during the timeline of Prophet Noah, so these things were created before that. So that's the reason why after the deluge, these are the submerged pyramids. And the purpose of pyramids was to generate electricity, wireless electricity, and it was used for mass communication. And the reason for Noah flood was that it was the people of that time were doing genetical engineering, as per our when you see the koil, means koil in Tamil means house of administration. So in our koil you will find yali. Yali means a hybrid creature. There's a statue, because all the statues in our koil is actually a history, a part of history. So we have to decode it. We don't have to worship them. So this is actually what is there. So koil, yali, if you Google it also you will, YALI, you will see a hybrid creature which were done during the time of Enoch, and after that also. So similarly, then during the timeline, then Noah collected the DNA samples, and he put everything in a boat which was prescribed to Noah to build as per the specifications. So all the DNA of all the species were put into the boat, and Noah carried the DNA, not the physical animal, because and then after, when the boat landed in Turkey, Anatolia, we have this Gopikali Tepe civilization. It's actually not a civilization; it's a lab where you will find a DNA pattern on the pillars, and different animal structures will be there. So that was the place when where Noah regenerated all the species, and then distributed all the species all over the world. So this is actually what happened during the timeline of Noah. Chapter 11 verse 48, again here it's talking about a certain people who will enjoy all the goods of the life, and in the end they will be pushed, they will have a painful torment. So like in the likewise the people who rebuild the civilization, again it was the Pandyan from Mesopotamian civilization, Aram, Elamite, Abu Huraira civilization, Indus Valley civilization, and then Indian civilization. All the civilization was built by the Pandyans. They were all the Pandyans colony. And around 7000 BC, we have the King Ravana story, the flying king who traveled to other race to visit to make a visit. And in Quran it's called Zulkarnain. Zulkarnain means two horn, referring to bull. And he flew all the way to Europe, then to Africa, and then he went to what you say this Chinese and Mongolia, and there he built a wall between China and Mongolia to stop them fighting from each other. So now this is what happened around 7000 BC. Then around 5000 BC we have the war called Mahabharat. Mahabharat is an internal war among the Pandyans colony which took from Syria to Indus Valley. It was a nuclear war, and you will find Abu Huraira civilization in Syria which have radioactive thing, and also in Indus Valley civilization, and the population reduced. Later on, and that time Shri Krishna prophesies about the greater Kali Yuga. Great Kali Yuga means rule of the bad king, and Satyuga means rule of the good king. So greater Kali Yuga means a long period of bad king. Like chapter 11 verse 48 talks about you will face a painful torment. So now after 3000 BC, when the Caucasians from the bloodline of Cain, the coming of Antichrist. The coming of Antichrist means bloodline of Cain coming into the black people land. So when around 3000 BC the Caucasians came into India, that's Aryans, and since they are Aryan means noble, since they were occupying the land of the noble, that is the Pandyans, so they adopted this title of Arya. But Arya doesn't refers to them. They are the unclean as per the Bible. They are called children of swine, and Quran chapter 9.228 call them unclean people. So and so this is where we have come to the timeline of 1500. Around 1500 BC, the Sanskrit got in written form, and like how the Moors who ruled Europe for 800 years after Prophet Muhammad, so they civilized the Europe over there. Similarly, Aryan got civilized, Caucasian got civilized in Iranian plateau with the help of Tamil. And from 3000 to 1500 BC, they got a written form of Sanskrit, and this is called Vedic age. So they wrote all the the Rig Veda, Sam Veda, Yajur Veda, the Atharva Veda was called Rig Veda period, and so where they got the Sanskrit in written form. And the same period they started a secret society called Mithraism. Mithra. If you check the photo of Mithra, you will find Mithra killing a bull. Mithra killing a bull means killing the Pandyan colony. Means because see, some invaders rule by arms and ammunition, but this Caucasian settlers, from the bloodline of Cain, the first Antichrist, they are ruling this part of the land with the help of certain policy which are anti to the tradition way of life. So anti-policy was written, and so then the anti-spiritual regime was started. Like for example, in our tradition way of life, we have to do yoga, meditation, and get connected with higher conscious through activation of Kundalini chakra. The Quran chapter 15 verse 87 talks about 7 of repeated, that is Kundalini chakra and Quran, because Allah has given two things to Prophet Muhammad. One is 7 of repeated, that referring to Kundalini chakra, and the wisdom Quran, the book of wisdom. So once again this is there, and then Yeah.
Ali, I want to know about chakras and all these.
Later on, because let's first finish the timeline period, then we'll go in. Now where were we 1500 BC, the secret society called Mithraism was started, and then their role was to destroy the tradition way of life. So because these people are eating the soul of the people, they are making you spiritually dead people. So now what has happened after that, they introduce the Brahmin cult, the priestly cult. The first religion they introduced was Brahmanism. Their profession was to go into the different tribal leaders, and they insert their concepts. So the first priestly cult was introduced, and these people were giving salvation or moksha, as Quran talks about. Now there's the religion people, chapter 2 verse 8. The people who talks about God and religion, God and last day, they are not believers. So based on that concept, these people, they introduced, they came into different tribal people, and they started talking about God and the last day. But as per Quran chapter 2 verse 0.8, they are not believers. Normally, if you see all the Christian, Muslim, Dawa organization, they will only talk about God and the last day. But as per the Quran, they are not believers. So now coming back to, Brahmanism was first opposed by Gautama, Prince Gautam, who activated his Kundalini, and he awakened, and then he fought against the Brahmin principle, and he clearly said that no human can give moksha or salvation. I'm just a pathfinder. Do meditation and get connected with higher conscious. So this is what again in every age this fight between dharam and adharam, truth and falsehood, has been going on. So later Persian, the first, and as per the Daniel chapter 7, it talks about 4 beastly regime. So first beast is Persian, and officially the first religion was called Zoroastrianism by the Persian. And whatever the Muslims are doing right now, the 5-time namaz, is based on Zoroastrianism. The Miraj is copied from Zoroastrianism. The Bakri Eid is copied from Zoroastrianism. So whatever these people, the Muslims, are doing, is they are carbon copy of Zoroastrianism, and Zoroastrianism is anti-spiritual cult. Now coming to what is namaz, Quran talks about Isra means a travel. Chapter 17 verse 1, it talks about Isra, a travel from Mecca to Jerusalem and its adjoining area. As per my research, it's talking about the greater Israel, wherever Ibrahim traveled from Ur to Jerusalem, from Mecca. These are all part of family of Ibrahim property, which they are going to take it back as per Quran chapter 17 verse 104. That is final Exodus. So now coming back again to Persian Empire. So Zoroastrianism was whatever the principles was adopted. And the same Mithraism concept you will find in Christianity. Mitra is a concept you will find in there also, and Hinduism also you will find the same Mithraism. And this is how they are spreading like a web all over the world, and every year somebody is coming and from the God side, and it's reestablishing the truth. And by the time of Jesus Christ, the children of Israel, they have fled from the land because the Ark of Covenant was missing, and the Roman and the Persians were occupying the right from Syria to Middle East. These people were occupying it, the Roman Empire and the Persian Empire. So Prophet Muhammad main mission was to unite people of the book and children of Israel, and to fight against the Roman Empire, Persian Empire, that is Caucasian settlers. So and chapter 36 verse 1 to 12 stops Prophet Muhammad from wasting his time on the cursed heedless people whose forefathers were not born, referring to bloodline of Cain. And he sent letters to invitation to Roman Empire, Persian Empire, which they rejected. Splitting of moon took place, and Tamil king responded to Prophet Muhammad. He joined Prophet Muhammad's army, and together with children of Israel, they fought against the Roman Empire, Persian Empire. So, and after Fateh Makkah, chapter 9, the unclean people, chapter 9 verse 28, the unclean people, referring to the Caucasian settlers, the Roman and the Persians, they are not allowed to enter into Hijaz region. So there is no question that Bukhari and all those people travel to Mecca. So Mecca is not allowed, the white people are not allowed to enter into Mecca, Hijaz region after that. It was, and later in Quran there is a change of Qibla. Qibla means, old Qibla means at the administration center of children of Israel, tribe Judah, Moors, seed of David, tribe Judah. So these are that was the first administration. New administration for children of Israel, tribe Judah, Moors became the Mecca, and from Mecca, the children of Israel they ruled Hijaz region, Africa, and 800 years they ruled Europe there. And then around 1200 we saw the rise of the third beast, that is Ottoman. And Ottoman came, and they when then around 1400 AD they entered into Medina. They captured Medina, and they appointed a governor. And after that, these sultan, they adopted the title of Khalifa. So wherever they ruled, in India, in Africa, in Europe, they claimed to be the Khalifa of the Muslim world. And the religion they propagated was Sufism. And Sufism is all about praising of Prophet Muhammad and elevating him to the level of a god. So this is what was done by the Ottoman Empire. And previously the Roman and the Persian, their religion cult was Shia and Sunni. And we come to know that Prophet Muhammad never shed blood. And then later on it was it was the Genghis Khan from Mongolia. Again, he is also a Shivite, a Tridin. He entered into Samarkand, Bukhara, and genocide almost broke the backbone of Roman Empire, Persian Empire. And after that, till today, these people are not raising their head. It's because of Genghis Khan. So that's one of the history. And then Ottoman, they ruled. After that, they ruled the land, and right up till 1921. That after the war, the Ottoman collapsed, and Saudi, as per the hadith, they say the devil from Najaf will rise. So during the timeline of Prophet Muhammad, those Caucasians who were living around Hijaz region, they were pushed to Najaf, and these people were not allowed to enter into Hijaz region. So the rise of the fourth and final beast, that is Satan Saudi, he rose and he genocided 8 lakh black people from Hijaz region and captured Mecca, Medina. And after that he got oil. And since he got the oil, and that times America was in great demand, so he took help from them, and then he made a treaty with them that whatever the oil he's going to sell, it is going to be sold through dollars. So this is how Saudi is controlling the American policies, and under the oil label he's been controlling everyone. And through Wahhabi organization, and the cult which they are promoting is Wahhabism, and Wahhabism is all about terrorism and mergers and acquisition which these people are doing. And then we find this they want to even merge the religious organization. So that's why we find lots of debate of Shia, Sunni, Barelvi, Deobandi, and all these debates are going on, and they're merging all these thing. And now, because since we are, and this is the age of information, we have the old world order, which is the God's guided part thing, and the new world order is basically the Mithraism concept, which was started in Iran. So that's the reason one of the hadith says that the devil will rise from east, and east of Jerusalem is Iran, and that's where the Dajjal will come. So Dajjal is nothing but the Caucasian settlers who wrote Mithraism, the anti-policy, which policy of which is against the God way of life. So now since we are in the end time, there is and they are since they have nothing to give to the world. But as what the Quran is talking about, the Europeans, Christian world, the closest to the believers, here the believers means spiritualism. When the closest to believer are the people who call them Christian, because among them there are monks who are not arrogant. So after that, the Europe, we see that Europe are accepting spiritualism, and while the Muslim world, they are stiff-necked people, they are arrogant people, and they don't want to accept Quran because it's quite natural. When a person, when an invader is occupying another land, he will try to see that he will write his own policy, and he will not follow the tradition way of life. So it's quite natural also, because since people of the land are following the God guided path, and these people are writing policy which are anti to God guided path. So the Muslim world will never accept tradition way of life, and in every age they are killing the prophet, corrupting the holy books, and now Since we see the Shia Sunni, they destroyed the Arabic language and they brought Farsi and Urdu in the madrasas. Then we have this Sufism, which is all about salvation through a man. And then we have this Tabligh Jamaat who are substituting Quran and promoting the namaz, which is based on Zoroastrianism. Then we have this Wahhabi organization. It's all about terrorism, and these people are just spreading all over the world and promoting the Persian doctrine, because all the hadiths, a maximum of them are fake, and has got nothing to do with Quran, because Quran is a reminder for people of the book and children of Israel, and hadiths are basically coming after Prophet Muhammad 200 years. So hadith has nothing to do with Quran, and Quran is just a reminder. It reminds, unites the black people to unite and fight against the Roman Empire, Persian Empire. Now chapter 17 verse 104 talks about the final exodus. So when the final exodus takes place, the children of Israel will return back to their land, wherever the greater Israel, wherever the Ibrahim travel. So that land currently is occupied by the Caucasian settlers, now called as Shia Sunni, Iran, Iraq and Saudi. So the final fight is between children of Israel and the Muslim world, which that's the reason why they are trying to destroy the black people of America and plus the African, because they know today or tomorrow these people are going to take back their land, because the ownership of that land belongs to children of Israel, and Allah has promised in Quran chapter 17 verse 104 that they will be returning back to their land. So the outsiders has to get out of that land. So Muslim world are outsiders, and so they don't want to leave. So that's the reason why they have adopted people like Zakir Naik and other people to confuse the people. So it's a Muslim are basically anti spiritual group, and they don't want spiritualism to rise. Okay, thank you. No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying only Ibrahim family from Isaac and Ismail. They are what you say. They are the bloodline of Ibrahim, and circumcision is not for other tribe. It's only for bloodline of Ibrahim. Because if you are doing circumcision and just because you want to become Muslim, you are going against chapter 95 verse 4. Which says it's 95, I think 95 verse 4, because the Quran says clearly that Allah has made Adam in the best of mold. So when he has made the best of mold, so there was no such thing as circumcision until Ibrahim. Until Ibrahim. So circumcision doesn't make you a Muslim. It's a tradition for only for family of Ibrahim, as per because as per the part of a covenant. Yeah, you can Google it out regarding Lemuria, this thing. You'll find everything. And today Keredi is there. Then similarly, this land from Anatolia is to Tamil Nadu belongs to them. So even the Gopikli Tepe, the history is there. The Sumerian, the Akkadian, the Aram, the Elamites, Elam, Aram, Mari civilization. These are all.
Okay. You're a Hindu, Ali.
Born and brought up in a Muslim family, but I have worked with Dr. Zakir Naik, and I had my own research, and I have done, and I have worked with him for 8 months, and because he was a Qabid Kafi of Ahmad Didat. Ahmad Didat is a Baniya, Gujarati Baniya. So, and he wanted some information on Hinduism. So I joined him, and whatever I'm telling right now, I have already spoken to Zakir Naik. But these people are slave of Saudi, so they don't want to come up. Yeah, he's a Salfi. His main intention is to create a market for more people to Hajj. That's the reason why the whole Modi and Saudi, they made this drama, and he traveled to Malaysia, and from Malaysia he's trying to convert the Japan and the Chinese people. Because if you just note down, China has not allowed any of the religious organization to enter into his land, and today Allah has promoted him as they have become a superpower. Whereas wherever the religion is there, whether it be India, whether it be Africa, and the black people, the religion and they are slave. They have become a slave. They have everything. African is the richest continent, but because of the religion they have become slave. But whereas China, they are following the tradition way of life, the spiritual way of life, when they are keeping their tradition. And Allah is, and they are the real mujahid, I feel, because they have destroyed the church and the mosque over there, and they are not letting those people entering into their land, and that's the reason why Allah has uplifted them. Because
But China is a dictatorship.
no, it's a spiritual land because the tradition way of life, it's a tribal system, na?
Is it?
Yeah, it's
China is
a tribal system. It's a spiritual land. See, meditation, yoga. See, what is yoga? Yoga is exercise. Whether mind and a healthy body. So to get your body fit, evening, morning, or afternoon, or whatever time is there, you do it. Exercise.
What is chakra? What is chakra?
Chakra is the seven points in our body, which which controls everything. Means the health of our system, and it's called nadi. Nadi, and normally when the old days,
Seven chakras.
yeah, seven. There are many chakras. There are many points, pressure points in our body. But the main seven chakras are the which gives. It's like a booster, which. Like chapter 24 verse 35, it talks about light upon light, nur ala nur. So it's talking about the abode of soul. The crown chakra is where the pineal gland is where the soul is there, where the god resides. So when you have that much of spiritual power, that the particle of god which is in you, it gets connected with higher conscious. When you get connected with higher conscious, you gain wisdom. You don't get any magical powers like normally this lots of people are claiming that I have opened my kundalini and I'm claiming to for divinity. That's a wrong thing, because tantrism is also there. So people who do tantrism also claim to be activating kundalini, but kundalini is all about getting connected with Lohe Mahfuz, where all the information are there, and Allah guides whom he wills.
Okay, thank you very much. Another question. The Mithraism. It starts from Mithraism, isn't it?
Yeah.
But can you explain who is Mithra? I know that the Mithra is who.
No, Mithra is killing the bull, not bull.
Oh, killing the bull.
Yeah. And bull refers to, it's one of the symbol of Pandyans. And Pandyan means, Pandi means bull. So the symbol, that's why in all the temple you will find the Nandi bull outside sitting outside the temple. Bull.
Okay.
So killing the bull means killing the Pandyans. You're getting the point? Anti-spiritual. The Pandyans are all talking about yoga, meditation, activation of Kundalini chakra. Then all the tribes, all the colonies should take active part in administration. Koil, Koil, Koil in Tamil means house of a king. It's not the house of a god. It's a house of a king where God's law has been implemented. But what they have done, they have made house of God where man-made law has been implemented.
Okay. Thank you very much.
The Buddhist is actually a religion, because see, Gautam Buddha is a prince, he's a king, and when he saw some events in his kingdom, then he left the palace and he went into jungle, and then he did meditation, and he activated his Kundalini, and he came back and he fought against the Mithraism concept of human giving moksha or salvation. Gautam Buddha, because Buddha means buddhi means wisdom, and there are many Buddha enlightened people before Gautam Buddha, and there will be many enlightened people to come after that, and enlightenment still continues. You and I can also get enlightened by activating our Kundalini.
Okay.
Yeah. So wisdom is from God. Yeah. So that's why Quran says Allah guides whom He wills.
That's true.
Yeah.
Okay. Satyugam prolonging due to 4 beastly regime disguised as Muslim world. Satyugam possible only through straight path of first Siddha Tamil Shiva. Nandri Vanakkam.